What up, gamers? I'm Jason, and today on Dice & Dragons, I'm going to be unboxing the Big Box of Doom expansion for Hellboy the Board Game. It does contain multiple items in it. We've got the End of Days, the Storm and the Fury, Pandemonium, and Hell on Earth expansion. Yes, I need to look on the back because I'm not going to remember all those off the top of my head. So you do have those 4 expansions included in the box. And you also have the Hellboy dice game, which is designed by Rob Berman and Matt Gilbert. Now, I'd love to give credit to the designers of the expansions. However, they are not listed, not even on any insert in the box. So that's a little unfortunate. And if you happen to have designed any of those expansions and you see this video, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section. So what will you be doing in Hellboy the Board Game? Well, you're going to be taking on the roles of different BPRD members, and you're going to be going on quests, case files in this game, and you need to complete specific objectives, defeat specific big bad villains as you're going to be playing through the story of the Hellboy comics. Now, the dice game will provide a similar experience. However, you're going to primarily be just chucking some dice, getting some results, and doing your best to solve your cases. Now, with that being said, I think I've talked enough about the games. Let's take a look at what's in the box. Now I'm going to take a look at what's in the box for Hellboy, the board game, the Big Box of Doom. So this contains the final expansions for the board game as well as the new dice game. This is the Kickstarter edition that has everything just in one box. So we've got a list of some of the new rules, the setup, the exploration cards, and then looks like this isn't for the expansions. Here we've got the rules specifically for the dice game. This wasn't quite clear, but now looking at it when it's talking about the clues, special effects cards, these are definitely the dice game rules. It should have something up here that should say Hellboy the dice game, just to make things a little bit clearer. Now, we have the new expansion characters for Hellboy, the board game. Now, I've only seen the movies, haven't read the comics. I really need to read them all at some point. So we've got Ted Howard's, Sledgehammer, Johann Kraus, Modern Prometheus, Abe Sapien Evolved, so a new version of Abe. We've got Agent Elizabeth Sherman. So this is a new version of Liz. We've got Ashley Strode, wielding a badass sword. I really like that. She's an exorcist. Darrow Tynan. And Hellboy, Last King of Britain, holding a sword, which I think is definitely really badass too. So really cool stuff that we've got here. And from what I've understood, at least looking into these expansions, that they take you through to the end of the story in the comics. Now, I'm not going to open these up here. These are specifically different case files. Each of these are for the expansions, so they're all separate in their own bags. I don't want to have any spoilers. You can get an idea as to what the different cases are going to be just by taking a look quickly right here. So I'm going to put these off to the side as well for the moment. Let's take a look at some of the miniatures that we've got here. So I don't think we've got all heroes. It looks like we do potentially have some villains here as well. So here we've got Hellboy with the sword, Last King of Britain, which is pretty cool. This could be, it looks more like a demon than anything else. I thought it might be Agent Liz Sherman. Not quite sure. We've got another demon. Once again, a lot of detail on the minis. Mantic does a great job with the miniatures. Here we've got the new agent. I'm already forgetting her name, even though I just said it. That had the sword as well. Our exorcist. Here we've got, looks to be that ally, demonic-like creature that we had. Here's definitely a big, bad, scary demon. Something from the pits of hell. I got another cool character here. So far, I like everything that I'm seeing. I would have liked to have seen all the heroes. Yeah, this is Johann Kraus, Modern Day Prometheus, put together, but having them split up is not necessarily a bad thing. So far, I really do like the packaging. It does feel like the space isn't necessarily wasted. That being said, I do have a few boxes of Hellboy content. So I'm going to be looking for different ways to just condense stuff. So some of that's going to be off camera there, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to do that in order to keep opening the box and showcasing what's inside. So yeah, we do have some of the other heroes here. So pretty cool. Could be a creepy villain. Little disappointed that the miniatures like this looks to be like Ted, but the miniatures don't exactly reflect what you see on the character sheet, which can make it a little trickier to figure out who is who. And that could be another villain there. Here we've got some of the new enemy types, little demons or imps. Once again, very detailed miniatures. I love the fact that the bases have some detail on some of these. And we've got these guys that are definitely big and scary. I'm sure if you're very familiar with the comics, it's probably a lot easier to tell which hero is which, just from some of the different things. I'm liking the fact that we've got this evil undead Drake. Looks very cool. And I love the detail that we're getting on this miniature. Is it really a miniature at this point? Looks like one of the reasons why I wasn't sure if we had all the heroes, because we got a few of them potentially stuck in there, or villains as well. The tape, decent idea. Well, I guess they have it just because for shipping purposes. Make sure that nothing falls out. So yeah, more villains than anything else. But I do like the fact that we do have a nice bit of variety in terms of what we're getting. So we've got this new bag, which I think is for the dice game. We have more dice, which are going to be for the dice game. Now, I will open this up. I'm not going to take too much of a look at the dice. We've covered the game. We have how to play through, bunch of content on the game. But the one thing I do want to showcase, and I'll put these dice off to the side for a moment, is specifically this new special die, the blue die, which does appear to be the main new component in the dice game, but you still do have more dice, which I think is always appreciated. For the moment, these are going to go outside the box just because they're getting in the way. And I don't want to spend too much time on the unboxing here in terms of just showcasing the cards. You can see a little bit what you're going to get in terms of the dice game. You get dice game backs of cards. And some of this stuff will have definitely spoilers, but it'll tell you like who the enemies are. So you can see here, we've got, actually, let's showcase this because I want to see if this is all hero cards or what we've got in terms of new villains. So yeah, we've got new cards that will be added to different villain decks. As you can see, their types at the top there. So some new clues, stuff that we can pick up. Pretty cool stuff. Then all the new enemies, Numero the Goddess of War, the Dragon, Queen's Champion, Crooked Man, Cricket, Demonic Servant. So pretty cool stuff here. And then new rules, so thinning the deck of doom. So all of these new rules cards that come into play. So I'll put that off to the side for the moment. And then we'll just show you some of the new, we got like encounters and requisition cards here. So some new requisition cards, stim shots, new gear, starting cards for the new characters. Pretty cool. And then the new encounter cards that you'll be adding to the encounter deck. We'll put those back where they belong. Put these cards back in. You have to lower them in like this. You know what? I wasn't going to do it, but we looked at the other cards. Let's take a quick look at the cards that are in the pack that we got here. Should be. Looks like this piece is just stuck around the corner, so I can't quite get it open. So I'll have to go from the top, which is a little tricky, but not the end of the world. At least the packaging isn't super tight like Simon's packaging, which makes situations like this fairly problematic and can easily lead to you damaging your cards. Something that I absolutely despise doing. And as I do not know the rules for this, we're going to go through this quickly. So just different cards. Looks to be all the different locations, things that you're trying to do. Hole in the floor, you get wound cubes. We saw a couple of those cubes earlier, didn't really focus on them, but you got those 3 red cubes that are going to be for the dice game. And this pack of cards is a little annoying, but I find that sliding them down like that typically gets them open. And then here we've got what looks to be the Kickstarter exclusive cards that have been added for the dice game, which is pretty cool. Not quite sure what they do, but we'll definitely figure it out. Now, for the moment, just to keep my packaging fairly straightforward, and I don't want to have a big mess trying to sort through everything, I'm going to put the dice all in the black bag here, fold it up, put it in here. Hopefully it's going to close. I'm not quite sure how this is designed, but we'll see. So it does close. I figured it would since the dice were already in there. I'll put the case files back in. It'll fit, even if it's a little tight. Put the minis back in there. Character sheets, rules for the dice game, and we're boxing it back up. So you've gotten to see what's in this box. Maybe you'll see Julie and I reviewing the dice game in a little bit. I'd like to get this back to the table. We had a lot of fun with it. Now keep it right here. They'll be coming back at you with a quick outro. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like what you saw, don't forget to click that like button, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. Also, down below in the video description, you will find links to all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you'd like to see some pictures of Julie and I playing Hellboy the Board Game, I actually don't think there are any on those feeds, but there are some pictures of us playing other dungeon crawlers, so make sure that you check them out. So those are down there. Also down there, if you're looking to pick up a copy of Hellboy the Board Game, there's a link to multizone.ca, a great Canadian game store. Click that link, you'll get 10% off your next purchase. It's a great way to support the channel, as a portion of that purchase will be returned to us. And then popping up in front of me are going to be links to some of our previously released videos. Over here will be our most recent release. And over here, it's going to take you back to our review of Hellboy the Board Game. With that being said, don't forget, keep playing games.